Hey guys.
Throwback Thursday. All right, today is Throwback Thursday, and we're doing Madball, not Meatball.
Which I thought it was Meatball.
You're like, wow, we're doing a band called Meatball? And I'm like, no, dude, it's Madball. Madball. Actually, I have this album, Demonstrating My Style is the name of the album. But the name of the song is Pride from Madball. I watched this video on Headbangers Ball.
Obviously.
Back in the day where there was no iTunes. So I saw the video, I saw this song, I loved it. And guess what I had to do? I had to buy the whole CD because they didn't sell downloaded.
Yeah.
There was no downloading back then. There was no internet. This is before internet, So I had to go to the store and buy the CD. So I bought Madball, Demonstrating My Style, because it had this song Pride. See, that's back in the day where you heard one song, you bought the whole CD without knowing how the rest of the CD was even going to be like.
I mean, the rest of the CD could have been bad, but you just wanted that song.
But back then, you bought a lot of albums because of one song, because you liked one song, you knew one song, and then you bought the album. But then, because you didn't have a lot of money, you didn't buy as many albums as we buy now, right? So we bought one album like here and there. So you didn't have a lot of money, you bought the album. Guess what? Better or good, you're going to listen to that album, get your money's worth. So you listen to the album, and eventually you end up liking songs that perhaps otherwise you wouldn't like. That's how it was back then. But anyways, these guys have a new album coming out on Nuclear Blast June 15th. So that's why I wanted to do this Throwback Thursday, because obviously I'm going to be listening to that album and doing an album review. So I really wanted to listen to this with you and introduce you to Madball. They're very similar to Hatebreed. Maybe not as pissed off, or perhaps they are. You just have to see it, because the dude in this video, the lead singer in this video, he's
I'm starting to like Hatebreed more.
And the dude in this video, he's an absolute badass. He's wearing like a wife beater, and he's just like, he's taking no shit from nobody. Like these guys have that New York hardcore vibe that I really like, because there's bands from that same scene that we haven't done on Throwback Thursdays yet, but we will. There's specifically a band called Agnostic Front that I really, really like, that we need to do a video, because you need to check out those guys as well. So they're all from the same kind of scene, like MOD, SOD, all of those bands. Yeah. But anyways, Madball, Pride. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All grown up, I gotta do for myself. Refuse to depend on anyone else.
Madball. So, what did you think about that? Really, really short. The song is really short.
I gotta
Our
say,
intro was longer than the song.
I gotta say, one, he's not as pissed off as Hatebreed.
He's not pissed off as Jimmy Justa. Okay.
Yeah, but
Number one. That was number one.
But the song is amazing.
Did you like it?
I really liked it.
It's so hype.
Yeah.
It's so hype. The funny thing about it is what he's saying in, like, this song is from like 1991, 1992, maybe 94, but early 90s, okay? Yeah. Like I said, I have the CD. I don't exactly remember the time. And what he's saying, that times have changed so much since then, since his youth, as times have changed. Funny enough, we're in 2018, and times have changed so much since my youth now, when I look back at my youth, because when this song came out, that was my youth, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times have changed since then for me, you know? But the song is super hyped, you know? Super hyped. Like, and the chorus is really catchy. Like, it's easy to sing along, you know? And you see the car with the hydraulics on it, like, all bent down and whatever, and all the vatos, you know? And I mean, I love this video. I love this song. It comes in that line of hardcore New York hardcore that I really like, and then some bands that had a little bit of a crossover, like Biohazard. We haven't done Biohazard yet. We have to do Biohazard because they're kind of similar to this. So what do you get from Hatebreed now? Yeah, it really is what these guys trailblazed before, like bands like Madball, Biohazard, MOD, SOD. All of these bands were the start, like Agnostic Front. All of those bands were kind of the start, right? And then Hatebreed is the new wave of that, right? The new wave of that. Maybe he's not as pissed off, but he's badass, dude. With the wife beater on, and then he's just like, you know, screaming and talking, and then he's sitting in that chair with the chains.
And then he had that weird sweater on at one point.
Yeah, it looked like a tracksuit, like a 80s style tracksuit, like really retro. Which I'm sure back then it looked really cool, but looking back now, it's like, what the hell is he wearing?
Yeah.
Really strange. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I didn't know if you were going to like it or not, but I really wanted to throw something different because we've done a lot of thrash bands on Throwback Thursdays. I want to start doing some different styles. I want to do some Ramones in the very near future.
It's cool, but it's cool these guys are putting out a new album, I gotta say.
And that's the reason why I wanted to check them out with you. Because obviously I know the band from back then. I haven't heard the band, any of their more recent stuff, but I really want to check out their new album. I want to do an album review, and I wanted to introduce you to something a little bit different than what we normally do.
I like to see their, but the thing is, I want to see some of their new videos. If they put out some new videos, I want to see if he's still screaming at the mic.
I think you're going to get a different vibe from them.
Oh.
But anyways, I'll find out when I do the album review, and I'll let you know. And then you can listen to it and see what you think. And I don't know if they have any new videos from any new songs from the new album. I'm sure they do. What band releases an album and doesn't have a music video? So I'm sure they do. But I didn't want your first time listening to Madball to be the recent stuff. I really wanted to go back for you to understand the roots of the band, where the sound started, how it was. And this was the song, more important than anything, this was the song that introduced me to the band. So I wanted to be the same song that introduces you to the band, to be that song, so we have something in common. And that's the whole point of Throwback Thursdays, is for me to introduce you to bands and songs that introduced me to those bands, you know? All right, guys, this is it for today. Please come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos tomorrow, more laughs, I hope, and no meatballs tomorrow. Yeah. No meatballs. No Madball either, but no meat. Sadly, why? You want some meatballs?
Yeah, I like meatballs.
I know. I can tell by your face that you like meatballs. You like pasta too. I'm not a big fan of pasta, I must say. I don't know where you get that. I'm not a big fan of pasta or meatballs for that matter. I prefer a good steak.
IKEA. I have to go to IKEA and get some meatballs now.
Oh. When I go to IKEA, I always get hot dogs. Their hot dogs are absolutely delicious. It's like they sprinkle cocaine in those freaking hot dogs. They're amazing. Anyways, how do we
You're talking about meatballs. You're talking about meatballs, and I'm like, I like IKEA meatballs.
Oh God. Anyways, guys, come back tomorrow, please. Please do. Especially after this. I don't blame you if you don't. I don't blame you if you're hitting unsubscribe right now. Yeah. But please don't do that and come back tomorrow. See you guys.
See you guys.